What's going on, Fast Turn Radio watchers, listeners, replay catchers, Gompers? What's up? Need to explain that real quick. Gompers, the whole Gompers thing. Gompers is a person. Brandon Gompers, good guy, good friend. Met him at CES last year, and he. The reason I do the little fist bump, he said, "Man, I hear you do the intro, and you got all this energy." He's like, "I just feel like giving you a fist bump," and so from that time on, I just said, "All right, we'll do the Gompers fist bump at the beginning of every show." So that's what the whole Gompers thing is. Because I've had more than a couple of people ask me, what's a Gompers? A Gompers is a person. And so I'm just giving a fist bump to Gompers to get the show started, just because he's a cool guy. And I thought it was funny when he told me that. So I rolled with it, because that's how we do things around here. Got an interesting show tonight. And again, I say this every week and it goes an hour anyway, but I don't think it's going to be a long show tonight. Probably going to keep it pretty short just because I don't have a lot of stuff to talk about, but we'll see where the conversation goes. I am going to give you some mid-year numbers inside the numbers. So right here, don't want you to be able to see it too well. There's some private information on there, but that is my QuickBooks printout for the end of Q2. So I've got the month or year-to-date information on things like cost of goods, how much we spend on office supplies, just all kinds of little stuff that, maybe as a new seller or even as an experienced seller, if you're not doing your own books or you're not paying attention, and it kind of caught me by surprise, some of the things that I found. If you're not on top of things, or if you're a newer seller again, you may not know exactly what a $500,000 business looks like or $1 million business. Well, I'm trying to build that $500,000 business. That's what the Road to 500K is all about. And hopefully in the next year or so, we can hit that $1 million mark. But I'm going to show you guys a little bit of the behind the scenes of what the inner workings of a $500,000 business looks like. So Alan Underfolkler, and I'm sure I just butchered that last name, but Alan's my boy. Been talking to him on Facebook quite a bit. Smart guy, funny guy, just cool to be around. So thanks for being here, Alan. Yeah, and Daniel says, thanks for the reminder. I have to do 6 months of QuickBooks. Man, I hope you are not 6 months behind, like you have not done a single bank statement or anything all year. But if you have, hey, I'm not going to give you a hard time. I did 2 months work today. That's what I spent a good part of my day doing, was just kind of getting inside the numbers and getting all my data. I basically did data entry all day. Not the best use of my time. I understand that, but hey, whatever. For now, it's what I have. Okay. So Daniel has Inventory Lab and QuickBooks. So there you go. He's got the 1-2 punch going on. So I guess there's not much. Let me get these. All right. Now we can actually see. One thing I do want to mention before I forget, long-term storage fees are coming up. So I got my notice the other day. I put a little snapshot in the coaching group and said, hey guys, just a reminder, start looking at this stuff and decide what you might want to return, or what you might, what I mean by return is have returned to you, and then send back in. Decide what stuff you might want to dispose of, just have Amazon destroy. What you want to crush the prices on and have a blue light special so that you can sell it off and make whatever little, forget your cost of goods, sunk cost at this point. You've already paid for it. So decide what kind of money you want to get out of that. To me, I realize it's not profits because you paid for that, but that's money back in your pockets. Whatever you want to call the recovery money that you can get out of those products. So you may lose money, but hey, get that money back, invest better next time. We all make mistakes. So luckily I'm not going to get hit too bad no matter what happens. Like I think I have a little over 60 items, 65 items total, maybe. $10 on the true long-term storage, where it's the $22.50 a cubic foot. And then I have, I think, 53 items on the 6 month long-term storage now. So altogether, I owe like $125 as of today, but trust me, I'm trying to burn through that stuff, just get it going. So yeah, fire sale. August, what's happening, dude? Yeah, it's it's Firestorm. So if you're a consumer, it's a good time to be on Amazon. If you're a seller, yeah, it's a good time to rethink what you did last year and what you're going to do different next year. And this whole 6-month thing is really, this is the first time that it's taken effect, and it's kind of changing things a little bit. You know, you used to be able, excuse me, used to be able to buy something, say, in January that was on sale, and you know, after Christmas, whatever, and I'm going to buy it, and you can have it all the way through till the next Christmas and sell it at that time. Well, that's not the case anymore. They're going to charge you these mid-year fees on anything that's been in storage or in the warehouse for 6 months, 180 days, on February 15th and on August 15th of each year. So twice a year now you're getting hit with storage fees. If you go into your reports, you can pull the fulfillment reports that show recommended removal, and it'll give you all the information that you need on how long your stuff's been there. Somebody said that they actually have the fee preview in there, so you can see how much you're going to pay on those products that are in there. So, okay. Leron said, yes, they do. So I just did not see that part for myself. Yes, you're going to get email reminders and lots of them. So that's a good thing to have. That's how I knew about it. The other way I knew, and I actually started selling my stuff last month because I was reading through Stephen Smotherman's book, and he had a reminder that said, hey, you know, long-term storage fees are in August. And I think he said it. I'm pretty sure it was his idea, because I got the idea while I was reading his book. So, you know, he said, kind of start selling early so maybe you don't get caught up with everybody suddenly, you know, trying to dump their stuff. Because right now it's on everybody's radar. A month ago, it wasn't. So I was able to get rid of some other stuff at a little higher profit, where now I might be competing with everybody who's got too much of whatever product. Yeah, and the cost is definitely in the email. That's where I got my cost analysis from, was in the email. Target's Christmas Day in July may fall right on Prime on the 15th. Wow. Okay. So yeah, Target's got a Christmas in July sale going on. Amazon's got the Prime Day on the 15th. That's coming up next week. So that'll be exactly 1 week from today, as a matter of fact. I will not be participating in that. There will be no show next week, by the way. I'm going to be in Orlando at the Scan Power Conference. So, you know, props to Chris Green for putting on yet another conference. Dude, he puts on a conference like no one else does. You know, the reason we talk about going to conferences is the networking, right? Nobody really says, I want to go to a conference and listen to the presenters, because that's just not the way it is. You go to the conference, you do listen to the presenters, but the reason you're at the conference is for the other people. Hence, you know, people going to CES last year, not actually going to the conference at all. They hung out in the hotel in the lobby, just talking with the attendees. So Scan Power Conference this time is going to be quite a bit different. It is going to be a networking event versus a conference with speakers, presenters. You know, why listen to somebody for an hour? Spend that time getting to know the people that you want to talk to in that room. And it is a room full of heavy hitters. So anybody that's going, awesome. Can't wait to see you there. If you didn't sign up, if you're not a part of it, I think you kind of missed a big opportunity, but that's just my opinion. So anyway, I will be at that conference next Wednesday. So at this time, there will be no show. Going to be hanging out with a whole bunch of cool people, big time sellers. And Mindy's here. What's up, Mindy? What's going on, buddy? All right. So let's see. Alan says, I see a bit of backlog to hit around the 16th for a week or so, and then people send in what they have been holding. That could be true too. All right. Sorry. Just got an email notification. I was trying to catch it there. Yeah, it is Mindy. I don't think Sarah really gets on this stuff. Oh, it's Sarah. Okay. Mindy's logging me on by his desk. All right. Love the couch. Wow. Sarah, I had no idea that you actually listened. I thought it was Mindy that was always doing the participating and all that good stuff. And then thought, you know, Sarah was just kind of the one selling behind the scenes and all that. So yeah, definitely Mindy usually in the chat. I saw that when I found out Mindy was a guy and he came on camera and has this big old beard and all that. So you guys will be in Orlando, or at least Mindy will, I believe. So looking forward to that. Looking forward to meeting him. Anyway, so that's a little bit of what's going on in the world of FBA. So long-term storage fees conference coming up. get your books in order and understand where you stand in the first half of the year, and kind of project what you need to change for the second half of the year. So with that, let's talk a little bit about, actually, I'm going to do two things. Because Mindy, since you're here, and I thought about you as I was going through this, and I meant to type it up real quick, and I did not have a chance to do it. I have the numbers on the scan van, kind of. I have all my receipts sitting here on how much I actually spent when we went on the little scanner excursion van stuff. And let's see. We started with a purchase at CVS Pharmacy in Massachusetts. That was the first one. So I'm just going to add some numbers real quick and see how much we actually spent during that little trip, or how much I spent on that trip. I still have no clue how much Matt and Todd spent. They put me to shame, I'm sure. Went to Big Lots. So CVS Pharmacy, here's some of the stores we hit. CVS Pharmacy, Big Lots, Sam's Club. Then we had a return to Sam's Club because we bought some stuff that was too close to expiration. Had lunch at a Boston Market. Then we went to a Toys R Us. So that was good times. Then I found a new store, which I'm not going to tell you guys what it was. Sorry. But I had no idea it existed, and it was killer. Got to keep some things secret. Got to keep a secret here and there. Man. Is that it? Nope, that's not quite it. We're almost there. Did some Weiss Supermarket. That was new. I had never been there before. All right, just about done here, guys. Uh, 134.82. All right, we're up to 2,900. We're almost done. Yeah, so it's going to be just at 8,000 or 8,000, 3,000, which is what I thought it was. And 145.22 at Big Lots. So yeah, 3,056. That's not bad for an estimate. Spent $3,056.35, and then returned like $85 worth of stuff because it was too close to expiration date after we had already paid for it, $82.56. So yeah, spent just over $3,000 in 2 days with two heavy hitters, and the godfather of it all, Chris Green. So it was a pretty incredible trip, and I am pretty sure they spent at least that much themselves, if not more. It was insane. Packing from the road was awesome. The scan van that we used will be in Orlando, so everyone will be able to check it out, where we spent 2 days just hitting stores, having fun, talking smack, shipping packages. It was good times. But that's what you can do. If you have a day or two to hit the road, you can go spend a few $1,000s. Now, I don't have the sales numbers on all that. I did not pull the individual items. I don't even remember a lot of what we bought. There was just so much stuff. But trust me, it made a big difference. That's, one of the reasons our June was as good as it was the $3,000 that we turned around and, sold quite a bit of. And it probably accounted for, I'm just guessing, $5,000 worth of our sales in June off that one trip. And we're still selling some of it now. So, all right, that's a little bit of the scan van behind the numbers. So let's look at let's go ahead and do the screen share, and we'll jump right into the road to 500K. Hey, Karen. I see Karen's here. Karen Holmes, I met her in Providence. And Kingsbury, who lives kind of right up the road. She's down here in Georgia as well. But all right, let's get the screen share up. Well, first, let's get our screen up. That way we have something to share. Let's knock her microphone over. All right. You're going to see the good, the bad, and the ugly. And see, guys, this is where I believe Fast Turn Radio is a little different than anything anyone else is doing, because I actually show you my Seller Central. I don't think anybody else is taking it into their Seller Central dashboard going, here's my numbers, here it is, here's my behind the stuff behind the scenes that nobody likes to talk about. So anyway, here it is. All right, you should see my screen. We're all logged in. We came up short of the 10,000 disbursement I was hoping for on Friday. It was 8,800, but still, you know, in that neighborhood of 10,000, so I'm happy. We're a little light right now at 2,000, and you see the last 7 days have been slow, 4,300 bucks. What's that attributed to? Not sending enough stuff. You're going to see today is actually pretty solid, and that's because a lot of things got received. Some shoe shipments that I worked on the other day and some just miscellaneous. I've been cleaning out the garage. I've changed my work area around and just sent a bunch of backlogged stuff. As I was cleaning out the garage, I was basically just shipping stuff that's been sitting there. Well, lo and behold, that stuff got checked in today and a lot of it's been selling. So, but still 7 days, that's pretty slow at 4,000, 15 days, 14,000. That's a little better. And we have dropped under 30,000 for 30 days now. Not happy about that, but it's the way it goes sometimes. All right. So business reports. Let's take a look. Yeah, you see we're over $1,100 for today. Yesterday was pretty good, 730. Last week, not so good. And same day last year was horrible at 200 bucks. But yeah, we got a decent variety of categories going on here for the day. We've sold in 2, 3, 4, 5, 9 different categories. So that's not too bad. And you see how the sales kind of spread out through those categories just on the day. But yeah, 1,100 bucks. ASP is 27. I directly attribute that to the shoes, but we can take a look. Yeah, we've sold 4 pairs of shoes today, averaging $36 each. Let's see, I'm going to guess that industrial and scientific is right up there as well. Oh yeah, it looks like somebody placed one order for $70, 2 items. So yeah, 35 bucks a piece on those. Yep. So it all comes together. All right, we'll get back to all products. There we go. All right, so month to date is not going to be a lot. You saw that was basically just the last week, which has been pretty slow, under $5,000. That's just not good at all. Year to date, now this is where I want to talk a little bit, well, let's do the custom. Year to date, this is where I want to talk a little bit about the numbers inside of all this. So if we go from January 1st, and let's just shoot it out. Yeah, well, let's go through June 30th, because that's where my numbers actually through QuickBooks ends. So the first half of the year, the first quarter, or first 2 quarters being in the book, the first half of the year in the book. 145,000 in sales. You can see all the rest of the stuff. And again, the number of categories we sell in are just, yeah, it's a little bit of almost everything. So if you have any specific questions, go ahead and fire away. But what does it take to get there? And we started with very little inventory after Christmas. We blew through almost everything. Q4, we had maybe 1,100 units in stock. Okay, so kind of starting at zero. And I will let you know, so far through this same period, cost of goods. Now we have 140, this blew me away. We have 145,000 in sales. Our cost of goods, we've spent a little over $90,000 already. Now, why those numbers are so out of whack, we have a lot of stuff that is meant to sell over 3 and 4 month periods. So if you have a big buy that is in the last month or two, you've only really started you've just begun to sell those items. And that's where a lot of that money is gone. But still, that blew me away that we have spent $90,000 on products this year. We have over 3,300 SKUs, actually at 3,300 units, excuse me, at the warehouse. So even at $10 a unit, that's $33,000 in cash that is sitting there. and the sale value on that should be around $65,000 and a profit of, I'm going to guess, 15,000, because that's normally how it works out. You sell for 2x, you make about 50%. But a couple other numbers that kind of jumped out at me were the merchandise sales. Now, these are our actual deposits from Amazon. That's about 87,300 in disbursements that we've gotten in the first 6 months. So, excuse me, when you look at that, we've got almost as much in disbursements as cost of goods. So we're basically spending everything that's coming in. So that's why the cost of goods is so high, and the sales are a little bit lower because we're spending it. We're projecting out. We're trying to grow, and that's what this year is all about, is the growth. Agu says you're doubling the number from last year. Yeah, almost. Oh yeah, about 2.5 times what we did last year during that same time period. So yeah. How many team members are on our team? It is me for the most part, and then I do have a part-time helper that I send a lot of my online arbitrage stuff to. So she gets anything that's the big Amazon to Amazon flips, or maybe if I buy something at Kohl's or Walmart, wherever the online deals are, I'm going to send those big purchases to her. I do most of the wholesale myself. And yeah, Denise, no, I don't. Denise asked, Duane, do you know your cost of goods that are matched to your actual sales? Nope, sure don't. It would take me forever to break that down. I don't have any software that's going to track like the cost of goods on that 145,000. I don't have any software that tracks it to that point. So nope, unfortunately, I do not. I would tell you if I could. I can't. That's all I can tell you is what I've done year to date so far. I would like to know that. I do use QuickBooks. I do not track my inventory in QuickBooks. I probably use it as ineffectively as anyone you have ever met. So if somebody wants to help me with QuickBooks, I'm all ears. I would love to know. Yes, Mindy, I absolutely want to talk to you about how to get better with QuickBooks in Orlando. You betcha. I've thought about that because I've heard you talk about your numbers, and you know your stuff a lot better than I know mine. I would love to learn from you. So, yep, show me what you got, buddy. I would appreciate it. At only a $9.99 an hour, dude, that's a bargain. I'll take it. So yeah, Tom says that he also tracks inventory in QuickBooks. So there you go. I know there's ways to do this stuff. I just don't know how to do it. I've never had anyone show me QuickBooks. All I do is kind of take my statements, download it in there. That's why I don't try to tell you guys how to do your bookkeeping, because I am the worst with it. So, and yes, Karen is right. It is normal to put a 7 at the end of something that you're trying to sell. So $9.97, you don't want to sell at $9.99. No, for some reason, there's a psychological barrier that people see 99. They round up, they see 97, they think they're getting a deal. So yeah, I use Scan Power. I have tried using Inventory Labs in the past. I've heard that people love it. I tried it. I hated it. That was when they were still in their beta, and it just had a lot of issues. So I am not a fan of Inventory Labs. I've heard a lot of great things about them, and I think they've probably done a better job in the last year or so. But when I tried them a couple of years ago, they were awful. So that's why I just went away from it. I couldn't figure anything out with it. It was just glitchy as all get out. So, yeah, I gave it a shot. Said nope. At the same time, Scan Power Reports, I'm trying to get that updated, but it's just not working for me. I was hoping that would give me the information that I was looking for. But reports it's kind of like Inventory Labs. It's buggy, and it's, sometimes it works and sometimes it doesn't. And so I don't have the numbers, guys. Sorry. Excuse me. I am so sorry. A couple other things that caught my eye. Computer and internet expenses is kind of what I categorize like CyberMonkey deals as. All right. CyberMonkey deals $45 a month. AWeber, I think, is $30 a month or whatever. We spend $2,000 on Zoom. Zoom is $40 a month. SoundCloud, I upload my stuff to SoundCloud. and it's $15 a month. So all these monthly subscriptions, we spent $2,000 on that kind of stuff, on monthly subscriptions, shoeboxed and tax jar. I said, man, it's a lot of money. It's about $350 a month, but it's the way it goes. But that was one that jumped out at me. Training, that would be conference type stuff that I've gone to. $1,400 courses that I buy, books that I buy, any of that. We've spent $1,400. Couple $1,000 in travel. That's Nap Eagle now. Yeah, I got another $130 or $120 bill coming. Thankfully, I have Scanner Monkey give me a 20% discount the first year, so it's going to be $120 instead of $150. But yeah, App Eagle, and I swear App Eagle is worth every dime. It's just incredible. I'm loving App Eagle. But yeah, that's another $100. And then office supplies, all those boxes, tapes, printers and dymos and labels and all that crap. Yeah, another $3,000 from all that stuff. So, it's just that all adds up. And the expenses, just all in all, yeah, we're looking at $44,000 in expenses in the not cost of goods, just in all this other stuff. $44,000. Well, that includes the money. I'm sorry, that includes my pay too. So there's a little bit of that. But anyway, that's just some of the numbers within the numbers. So what's it look like to run a business that is growing and trying to hit 500,000? It's it's right here on paper, and it'll blow your mind. It's a lot of cost of goods. It's a lot of growth. It's a lot of monthly expenses, all that good stuff. Yeah, we stop the car. We get paid for this? Yes, we do. It's not just all fun and games. I won't share that, but I've taken that out of that 44,000. I'll tell you now, I took a good chunk of that as my paycheck. Yeah, I have decided to pay myself well this year. That's why we're taking more vacations this summer, and we're enjoying life a little bit, because we spent a couple of years growing to the point where we could actually do that. So yes, we do get paid eventually. Now, if you're starting out, it may be a while before you truly get paid. You may just scrape by for a couple of years, but at some point, yes, sir, you get paid now. And I know you better than that, man. I know you're getting paid. Climbing mountains on somebody's paying for those trips while you're out there mountain climbing. And you enjoy life more than anyone I know. So props to you on that, sir. So anyway, if anybody has any questions, fire away. But that's it. Oh, Karen says, I'm loving the prep companies. Sending online orders to them saves me on the office supplies. Yes, indeed. Those of you who use App Eagle, what is the buy box? Sarah asked. What's your buy box percentage? All right, I'm going to stop my screen share. Let me bring up App Eagle. Ours looks to be running in the 20 to 28% range. I don't know if that's normal. I have no idea. I don't know if it's because there's some things that I don't want to compete for the buy box for right now. I won't get into some of it. There are some things that I'm holding my price higher on, so I am not getting in. And right now it's super low. Wow, that's the lowest I've seen it. Right now I'm showing at 18% of the buy box. Usually it's in the 25 to 28% range. Cheryl asks, have you used Amazon to prep your items? Any issues? How long does it take them? I don't use them. I don't know if anybody in the chat room does. If you can answer that, I have not used Amazon to prep my packages. All right, Sarah Mindy says theirs is around, or Sarah says that hers and Mindy's is around the 49% range. My in-laws, who I got to start using App Eagle, and they're in their free trial period, they're running right around the 50% range. So Bob Willie says long-term hold. No, they're not long-term holds. It's more to do with map pricing and stuff like that. But anyway, but I did have some that I said, well, maybe at Christmas time, but which is weird for me. That's a long way out. That's, on one hand, it's like Christmas 6 months from now. On the other hand, it's like Christmas is right around the corner. So it's crazy. Bob says you are coming around slowly. Yeah, as you grow, I will say, as you grow, you have to, you're going to have to make deeper buys. You're going to have longer term strategies. Um, so, and Alan says Christmas starts 8/16 because that's when you can ship your stuff and not get caught with long term storage fees in February. You will have an entire year to sell. So, yeah, you start to project your sales out further. You start to buy things that are not necessarily going to sell in the next 30 days. I mean, I've made buys that I know are 6-month buys or 4-month buys. I do a lot of that now. I do it with expectation, which is very different. But I'm still not into the I'm going to buy it today and then sell it for 3 times its value 6 months from now. That's not really my game. But anyway, yeah, the new 6-month storage fee is definitely nuts. It is definitely changing things. It's kind of throwing a wrench in things, because where it used to be a one-time yearly fee of $22.50 a cubic foot, it's now $11.50 and $11.50. You're going to get caught every 6 months, and if it happens to be there over a year, then you'll still pay that $22. So, yeah, I'm not a fan, but it definitely encourages you to do the fast turn model. They do not want you to hold stuff. But this has come up also. And I learned this from Bob Willie. If you only have one item in stock, you will not get charged a long-term storage fee on that. Okay, so if you only have one of something, don't worry about it. You're not going to get charged for it. But if you have more than one, then they will charge you for anything above one. So if you have 10 of them, you're going to get charged for 9. If you have 2, you're going to get charged for 1. I think you guys get the idea. That's really, I think that's about it. One thing I want to mention, if you guys ordered the black and white copies of Chris Green's Online Arbitrage, I want you to know that it is my fault that they have not shipped yet, but those will be prepped and shipped tomorrow. So if you got in on the group coaching with me, Dennis, and Chris, then those books are coming to you. I promise. It was totally my fault. I was ill prepared for sending out 36 books. I didn't have any of the shipping material I needed. So Karen says, all right. Yeah, and I'll take whatever questions. Otherwise, I'm done. I said everything I had to say for tonight, guys. Okay. What do you think of Prime Day? I don't know what to make of Prime Day. I'm going to be very interested to see what in the world happens for Prime Day. I think it's great for customers. It's great for sellers that were invited to the program and are able to make a profit at the prices that people are looking for. So if you have items that you can sell for a profit on this Prime Day as a lightning deal, that's going to be fantastic for you. I don't want to see people just doing it and breaking even. I think that would be horrible. That's a lot of work. That's a lot of stuff to get into. But at least you maybe get recognized by Amazon as a Prime person, or a person to come to in that situation. Cindy says we can't buy on Prime Day to flip, right? I don't think so. I think most of it is going to be lightning deals, which you cannot flip. So no, I'd probably just stay away from it. I'm sorry. Scratch that. Yeah, you can't, because you're not allowed to use Prime in order to do flips. And that's the only thing that this is for. I think, from what I've seen, it is Prime only. So no, you're not going to be able to spend, or you're not going to be able to buy and then turn around and sell, because you're going to have to use your Prime to buy, which is a violation of your Prime benefits. There we go. Diana says their silly commercials aren't very convincing. I honestly have not seen the commercials because we watch very little TV that is not streamed by Netflix, Hulu, or whoever else along those lines. We stream everything. We don't watch any live TV hardly. Yeah, you can buy and sell on eBay. I mean, technically that's a violation of your benefits, but I don't think they're really going to come after you. Yeah, there's over-the-air TV. I watch that every now and then, but auto income reducer. Gotcha. TV is air. Auto income reducer. Nice. Yeah, I'm not a big TV watcher. I'll watch it late at night when the day is done. That I'll chill out and watch some TV. Like to watch the fights, whatever. But Anyway, um, let's see. Yeah, you could buy and slip via another. Yeah, you can sell on other platforms. Again, it's still a violation of your Prime benefits. Are you going to get caught? No, you're not. If you guys want to do it, go for it. I'm going to be busy at a conference anyway. I will check in just to see what's going on. I think there will sales fall off prior to and immediately after Prime Day? I don't know. This has never been done before. I'm not sure what's going to happen. You're going to see a big spike. So, I mean, you're going to see a fall off as far as, you see a big jump in your sales, and no, you're not going to have as much the next day. But, this week prior to and the week after should be pretty much in line. I mean, I don't see any reason why you would have a big fall off, but yeah, drive more customers to Amazon Prime, puts Amazon back on the top of mind. That's true too. I agree with that. Prime membership is exploding, and it has been for years now. Each year they add more and more, and I think that's what this is, hey, those of you that aren't Prime, look, if you were, these are the kind of deals that you would expect to see. So I think it may overall really boost sales now that I'm kind of thinking it through, because you're going to have more Prime buyers at the end of the day. So if you can have more Prime buyers in July as you're coming into the what I consider the meat of the year. August, September, October, November, December are all solid months, okay? Because you have the back to school followed by the Halloween, Thanksgiving, produces Black Friday, that charges sales. I mean, we are coming into the heart of the year. That's why we're kind of taking vacation now. We're getting the conference out of the way, all that good stuff. Because, man, the rest of the year, it's pedal to the metal, and you're going 100 miles an hour from here on out, guys. The summer is a great time to take a break. August on, you're going to be busting your butt. We did 150,000, 145,000 in the first 6 months. We should do almost twice that in the second 6 months. Assad does not know me very well, apparently. He said, what are your thoughts on Amazon lending program for sellers? Do you have any idea the level of sales you need to reach the invite participation? I am vehemently against credit cards and loans. So I do not borrow money. I have no debt in my life. There is no way that I would take the loan offer. I've been offered the loans. I turned them down. Now, I will say they are great rates. So, that as far as as far as loans go, I guess it's a good one. It's just, I hate loans. So it's hard for me to recommend that you go take one. You also asked a second part to that. I'm trying to bring it up here. What do you need to qualify? Nobody really knows. Nobody knows what you need to qualify for their loans. They just kind of give it to the people that they see as fitting their parameters. I was offered loans twice. I turned them down. I no longer get the offers. I don't know if that's because I turned them down. I have heard if you're big into grocery and HBA, it reduces your chances. I've definitely heard that. And if you looked at my numbers, my number one category is normally grocery. So, for me, it's just not going to happen. I'm probably never going to get offered a loan again. I am absolutely never going to take a loan. What do I think? I think loans are just in general a bad idea. Most people take out loans with the idea that I'm going to buy product, sell product, and pay back the loan. Great. If it all works out that way, that's awesome. If that fails at any point, you're the one that's in deep trouble. If your account gets suspended, if the price on the products drops dramatically, if you get sick and suddenly you can't ship those products that you ordered, any number of things happen that will negatively impact you, and you have a loan, you've just compounded whatever that tragedy in your life is. It just, no way. John says he has 50,000 in loans. That scares me to death. I couldn't sleep at night if I had 50,000 in loans. That's just me. Okay, are you selling in tiers for business category? No, I haven't started the business. I meddled with it a little bit when it first started, but no, I have not looked much at the business side of things. I've been too busy trying to play catch up. All right, Michael Flanagan. I'm going to send Duane I'm going to send Duane $1 and tell him to pay me back the next time he sees me. We'll drive him nuts, dude. I will PayPal that dollar right back to you. Yeah, I wish I had an answer on the business stuff. I just, between taking the vacation in June and then just, like I said, trying to clear out old inventory, you see my numbers are down. It's time to kind of get the ball rolling again. I've just been playing catch up too much, and I have not dabbled in anything new other than App Eagle. There's the latest, greatest thing that I've messed with. Cheryl says, anyone else noticing that some toys are selling at Q4 prices now? I have already sold a lot of my Q4 toys. That's awesome, Cheryl. No, my toys generally are down, I would say overall. They're definitely, like, I sold some Barbies tonight that I was selling at Q4, selling in Q4 for $35 to $40. Most of my stuff I'm selling now at 25 and just getting rid of stuff. It's just not doing it for me. So no, I may just be in bad toys. A lot of mine were Amazon flips that I've just decided it's time to get out of. Trying to think if I had any winners with toys lately. And, some of my wholesale toys are doing excellent. Now those are doing well, but the flips, not so much. I just sold a Furby Boom. Awesome. Tom says he sold a Furby Boom for $65 this week. Diane selling some games that she thought wouldn't sell until Q4. Cheryl, does that mean raising your normal prices now? That's a good question. So are you raising your prices in anticipation? I personally would not. I fight for the buy box, and I just want my stuff moving. But if you're seeing that kind of demand, and for some reason you think the quantities may be limited, it might be a good time to raise your prices if the stuff's flying out the door. All right, Assad, what are some of the things we should be doing now to prepare for Q4? It depends on where you're at in your business. If you are a new seller and you don't have a large budget, don't prepare for Q4. Okay. If you can spend all of your budget right now and sell it in the next 2 weeks to 2 to 4 weeks, so you're going to sell every month anyway, don't worry about Q4. If you're sitting on a bigger budget where you can actually start to do some projections and put some money out there, then look for deals. Okay, this is something that I learned from KIB. She said, anytime I see a deal, I jump on it. And, maybe she has to hold it a little while before she sends it in because of these 6-month terms or whatever. But she is great at just when it's low, she buys it up. And then she doesn't mind holding it until Q4. So if you've got a large budget, then you can start to do some of that kind of stuff. You can start to get some of your wholesale that is going to sell okay now, but is going to just kill it 4 months from now. Get that wholesale ordered. Might as well just get some of that stuff in the works and already in the cycle whenever the peaks come. But if you're on a small budget, do not get caught up in, I got to buy stuff in freaking July. Keep this in mind, guys. We're July 8th. We're still in July. Do not go buy for Q4. Now, seasonal items, love that. Now, if you have a small to medium budget and you want to do a little bit of projecting, go buy back to school stuff right now. That's going to sell like crazy in the next 3 weeks to the next 3 to 6 weeks are going to be insane with back to school. Now, you talk about something that's selling well already. Back to school stuff is already starting to sell. So that's where I would start putting my money, is not on Q4. I'd put it on back to school. And when back to school gets done, I'm doubling down on Halloween. And when Halloween's done, I'm in the middle of Q4. Now I'm killing it. Okay. I said this in my coaching group the other day. Somebody asked a similar question about Q4, and I said, back to school is your launching pad for Q4. Back to school will increase your budget dramatically and allow you to spend for Halloween which is in Q4, and for Black Friday and Cyber Monday and all the days right around there, that's where we kill it. All right. So, okay, Cheryl says, hang on, I'm trying to, now that my rant's over, I'm trying to get caught up on what you guys were saying. I'm not raising my prices. I do a lot of discontinued toys, just list the price I want and then have them sold in 3 months. That was Cheryl's response to whether or not she's raising prices. Diana asked, what kind of school stuff? Clothes, supply, what kind of school stuff? Clothes, supplies, shoes? Not so much supplies. I am not a big fan of school supplies. If you are trying to sell notebook paper for back to school, I think you're on the wrong track. That is not at all the way I'm going. But yeah, you want to do clothes, shoes, I think are going to be great because every kid needs a pair of shoes. So every kid's getting ready to go back to school. So there's going to be a lot of shoes. Backpacks with matching lunch bags, I think are good. Yeah, and Alan says just lunch bags by themselves. I am not a big fan of backpacks by themselves. All right, Sarah's got to go. All right, Sarah, take it easy. Thanks for stopping by. I'm not a big fan of just backpacks by themselves because you got to know the backpacks that people want. Now, if you have some kind of insight as to what that might be, that's cool. I don't know anything about backpacks, all right? So I'm not going to just go buy backpacks off the shelf and hope that these are the ones that people want. Yeah, just that's not the way it's going to happen. See you, Mindy. Thanks for stopping by, buddy. And I'll see you next week. I'm excited. So that's not me. Now, Bob's saying that he has sold hundreds of backpacks, and that's cool. I don't know what you knew that I don't, and the fact that you have that experience, that is awesome. I'm not going to sell backpacks randomly. Now, there are some very specific character themed backpacks that I am going to absolutely go after. I think that's where I'm comfortable. And that's why I say the backpacks with matching lunch boxes, I think are awesome. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle, no brainer. Yes, that has staying power. I would say any of the ones that have been good for a long time. You have the Minion movie coming out. I'm pretty sure those are going to be good. So, you have, I would imagine, just my guess, and I don't really know, things like Cars or even Toy Story. I think those are like long-term. They've had staying power. But yeah, definitely Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles and Minions. I don't think you could go wrong with either one of those. But again, I'm not big on speculation. Now, I've seen some of the Minion backpacks, and they are a little bit higher in price right now. So, they're already on the way up, I guess is what I'm saying. The movie hasn't even come out yet. But that's kind of stuff I look for. The shoes, definitely. The backpacks, lunch boxes that are there. Just don't, I would strongly encourage you not to do the, whatchamacallit, the markers, pens, pencils, crayons, glue sticks, all that. I talked about it a little bit last week. Don't try to compete with Walmart on that stuff. Every mother out there is going to go to Walmart and pick that stuff up for dirt cheap. That to me is not where the money is. The money is in the specific items that are selling well above what they should be. Or if you can buy them low enough, I'm selling some stuff right now that is doing awesome. That is, I just bought it cheap enough that I'm selling at regular MSRP and I'm killing it with it. So, and if you can buy right, and that's what I was saying, KIB kind of opened my eyes to, if you can buy right, eventually you're going to make the money. Well, this one happened to be the best of both worlds. It's not only buying right, it's buying right in the season, which is awesome. What kind of categories? Everything. I have sold office supplies, toys. I expect to sell shoes this year. Locker shelves. That's one that falls under office supplies. I've sold a ton of locker shelves. Hey, Cordelia. Thanks for joining us. Yeah, there's just, so you're going to have toys, office supplies, shoes, clothing, possibly. Trying to think what other categories those are going to fall under. If you put back to school with food, you could get into the grocery type stuff. Yeah. Oh yeah. Thank you. Luggage, because some of the backpacks fall under luggage. Yeah. And your uniforms, man, you better buy them at a good price though. That's one thing. And if you are not buying uniforms at the right price, you're going to get killed by Amazon, because Amazon's coming in super cheap on them. I've seen some of that. Yeah, see the kitten, like the students here have uniforms. So John, thanks for being here. He's got to run. But thanks for being here, buddy. Now, yeah, Diana, bedding for college, definitely. That's another one. College dorm room appliance type stuff. Keep an eye out for that. So if you know, that's going to put you in what, home and kitchen. Guys, there is no, this is the category. Okay. It's all categories. It's just about finding the right stuff. That snack bundles. There you go, Tom. That's good stuff. You know, we talked about that last week a little bit too. You know, those dorm room kids, let them think of home. They're going to buy those comfort foods. So, you know, if you have some insights into that stuff, some ideas, run with them. But it's not, it's like anything else. People say, I just started selling. What category should I sell in? You see, we're selling in what, 20 something categories right now. It's just always there. It's always available. Now Tom's just trying to get political. I'm going to let that one go. Yeah, it's more about the product and the customer than the category. Exactly, Cordelia. It's, you know, category, there's stuff in every category. Just make sure you match what the customer wants with the product. You're going to have the sales. So, all right. I think that's going to wrap it up. We did almost go an hour, but we're going to cover it a little bit short. Lauren said you mentioned that you were buying so cheap you are now selling at MSRP. That's the category I was asking about. Oh, okay. Yeah, that is in toys. It's a back to school toy that I bought super cheap and selling it at MSRP and making right at 50% ROI. I would have to pull them up to see the exact numbers, but yeah, nice find. Thank you. I was happy. That came from networking. Somebody said, hey, check these out. I said, okay, thanks. You know, that it wasn't me finding it. It was actually someone else brought it to me and said, hey, you might want some of these. I said, I absolutely do. Linda, off topic. Are you going to ASD? Not until March. I am not going to be able to make ASD in August this year. I wasn't able to last year, and I probably never will be able to, because that's when my wife goes back to school. She works for the schools, so she goes back to work, and I have to take care of the kids quite a bit for that week. No, definitely not doing CES this year. Now, the last conference that you'll be able to catch me at this year is going to be at the conference next week with ScanPower. I am not doing CES, just a few different reasons. I'll just leave it at that. Duane has the biggest network I know of. The guy has a ton of people working for him. Yeah, Michael helps me out quite a bit. And I do know some people, and it does help. And I try to tell you guys to network. And that's why I tell you, when you have the opportunity to go to a conference like ScanPower, you freaking go. And I do not have millions at all. No, I appreciate every single one of the people that help me out. And it's too numerous to name. And every time I start doing it, I realize as soon as I stop, get off the air, I'm like, man, I forgot to mention this person and that person. Yeah, it's just, the more people you know, the more opportunity you have for success. Michael's helping me out because he has a warehouse that he's going to let me use and workers that he's going to let me use. And, it's going to save me a few $100 just on shipping, be able to send the stuff to him and pay his people to do that versus me having to do it myself. That's a huge thing. That's a huge advantage. So, it's sometimes it's products, sometimes it's services, sometimes it's going in on buys. Networking, guys, I can't stress that enough. Alan says, let's connect, Michael. Yes, sir. I think you guys would get along well. So anyway, that's it. I'm going to wrap it up. We're going to call it a night. Thank you guys for being here. I don't know how many we ended up with. I saw we had 40 something at one point. 52. Awesome. Thank you guys so much. If you have any questions, you can fire them off in Fast Turn Radio. I am always there. It's a quiet group, but trust me, I pay attention. I'm just not going to try to start conversations because there are about 1,000 Facebook groups out there. So I'm not going to try to contrive conversations, but if one organically comes up because you have a question. I love to talk, love to answer your questions and get your insights, and I'll be more than happy to give you mine. But thank you guys. Thank you all for being here. Love it. Appreciate you being here. No show next week, but we'll see you in 2 weeks. So, all right, guys, we will see you in 2 weeks. Until then, go make some money. Get ready for back to school. This launches Q4. Later, guys.